This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 4th day of January in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, today accused the government of acting in a reckless manner by agreeing to have a British Navy vessel visit Guyana weeks after the Argyll Declaration, which was intended to ease tension between Guyana and Venezuela. In response to the vessel's presence in Guyana, Venezuela has dispatched more than 5,000 soldiers to its coastland and bordering areas. President Irfan Ali, in defending the move amid objections from Venezuela, said the presence of the British Navy vessel in the country is no threat to Venezuela. He said the vessel is in the country for training exercises on security and other issues. But at a press conference today, the opposition leader Aubrey Norton told reporters that the move at this time was simply irresponsible.
While it might be a part of standard training, governments are expected to be politically sensible and should know that in the context of the recently signed agreement, measures should have been taken to have it handled differently. And so, in my opinion, the government is reckless.
Mr. Norton said while Guyana needs the support of the United Kingdom, Brazil, and other bilateral and multilateral partners, it must act wisely. According to him, the timing was bad.
We could have engaged the British to say, we welcome it, the timing is bad. Could we work towards a later date so that you don't say to the British, no, but you say to them, the present situation is not propitiously disposed to that kind of activity.
And he said while it is important for the country to build its military capability with support of its bilateral and multilateral partners, the vessel's arrival in Guyana should have been delayed by at least a month.
The Venezuelans have no right to tell us what to do, when to do, and how to do it. That is a given. But at the same time, as a nation, we have the responsibility to do things to ease tension.
However, President Irfan Ali, in addressing the issue, said Guyana remains fully steadfast in promoting and advancing peace while pursuing national development. The president also said Guyana has long been engaged in partnerships with regional and international states aimed at enhancing internal security. The partnerships, he said, do not threaten anyone and are in no way intended to be aggressive or constitute an offensive act against any state. Tensions flared 2 months ago as Venezuela started a buildup of its military personnel close to the border with Guyana and held a referendum seeking to annex Guyana's Essequibo region. With international condemnation mounting on Venezuela and the international community rejecting its claim, CARICOM and CELAC stepped in and brought the presidents of the two countries together, giving birth to the Argyll Declaration. As part of that declaration, the two neighbors have agreed not to threaten or use force against one another in any circumstances, including those that are consequential to any existing controversy between the two. Venezuela has laid claim to 2/3 of Guyana's territory on the grounds that the 1899 arbitral award is null. But Guyana, in rejecting that contention, has asked the International Court of Justice to uphold the award. More news coming up in just a moment.
My lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
It's It's your time to win big. The Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massey Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massey Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massey Stores, our family serving your family.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Twice the fun. Twice the thrill. On your next trip with Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama and enjoy 2 vacations in one at no additional airfare. Because to live life at its fullest, first you have to stop. So next time you fly Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama at no additional airfare.
Vice President Maraj today defended the government's decision to allow the visit of a British Navy vessel to Guyana, making it clear that the vessel was not a threat to any country, and its visit was long planned.
It's a patrol vessel. Yeah, okay, Dennis, but this is not, look at the vessel. If you go online and you Google the HMS Trent, see what the capabilities are. This is by no standard a warship. When you say warship, it connotates a different kind of aggression. This is a patrol vessel that has come to the region before. It was scheduled to do an exercise in Barbados and come to Guyana, and it did so. And they made it clear, we made it clear it had no aggressive intent against Venezuela. But we also have to work with our allies. There are lots of things we need to know and to do.
The Venezuelan government has objected to the vessel's visit, which was first announced by the British government. In response to the visit, Venezuela started to build up its military presence in the bordering locations with Guyana and along its coast. Today, opposition leader Aubrey Norton said that the Guyana government was reckless in allowing the visit of the British Navy vessel at this time, when the tension between Guyana and Venezuela was thawing. Vice President Jagdeo, however, said there is no apology to offer for the decision to allow the vessel's visit.
We need to make sure that our waters are safe from incursion into our exclusive economic zone by a number of players, non-state players, including illegal fishing and drug dealers. And part of the mission of this was to, this vessel was to look at that, help us in this regard, and in Barbados too. But we don't have apology to make for building and for relationship with our allies in a defensive capacity. We didn't do so in an aggressive manner.
Guyana and Venezuela are set to continue discussions arising from the Argyle Declaration in Brazil within the next 2 months. Well, Guyana's new ambassador to Venezuela, Dr. Richard Van West Charles, will next week travel to the neighboring country to present his credentials to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. During an interview with News Source this morning, Dr. Van West Charles said he's looking forward to taking up his role in Venezuela to address certain crucial issues. He said among those top issues will be to push Guyana's position to have the Latin America and Caribbean region remain a zone of peace and to restart critical collaborations with Guyana's neighbors.
My role is a diplomatic role to ensure to work on the basis of the orientation of our government and our commitment to the Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace. And also to look at the collaboration between our neighbors. We've been having collaboration for a long time. And so it is how we restart that level of collaboration.
Dr. Van West Charles is taking up his diplomatic posting at the time when Venezuela has been intensifying its claims over Guyana's Essequibo region. Tensions flared between the two countries in November and early December and only calmed following that meeting between the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela. Through the declaration of Argyle, Guyana is maintaining its position that the controversy should and must be settled at the International Court of Justice, where it says it has a strong case. Venezuela, however, has seen the Argyle Declaration as the beginning of negotiations. For his part, though, Dr. Van West Charles said after he presents his credentials and get to work in Venezuela, he will further Guyana's agenda in that regard.
The issue is between the two countries. We've got a difference, but we are neighbors.
Right.
And in this case, it's like family. You don't pick your family, and in this case, you can't pick your neighbor.
Yesterday, the Guyana government, through the Foreign Secretary Robert Posad, confirmed that Dr. Van West Charles is preparing for Caracas and wished him well. Dr. Richard Van West Charles is a member of the opposition People's National Congress, which was founded by his father-in-law, late President Forbes Burnham. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, has explained that when he posed for a photograph back in December of 2022 at the Venezuelan embassy event in St. Vincent, he was unaware that he was standing behind a floral depiction of the map of Venezuela that included the Essequibo region. Venezuela has been laying claim to Guyana's Essequibo region for several years and has been increasing its claims in recent times, triggering a meeting between the presidents of the two countries that was mediated by the same St. Vincent Prime Minister just last month. The photograph of Dr. Gonsalves and the map incorporating Guyana's Essequibo region into the map of Venezuela started making the rounds on Venezuelan social media pages this past weekend. In a letter to President Irfan Ali and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, Dr. Gonsalves said he has never seen the photograph before and explained that while he was at the event taking photographs, someone from the Venezuelan embassy in St. Vincent placed the floral depiction of the map in front of him and other officials who were posing for photographs. He said he did not look at the depiction since he thought it was related to the late Venezuelan leader Simón Bolívar, who was being celebrated at the event. The Prime Minister said it is sad that an innocent inadvertence on his part is now being used to drum up unnecessarily antipathy on some kind of the other. He said he understands all the emotions involved in the controversial issue, noting that while from time to time there will be flare-ups, leaders must maintain a patience and calm. The St. Vincent Prime Minister said he has since spoken to President Irfan Ali and Vice President Maraj on the issue, and he hopes that the issue has now been laid to rest among assorted ghosts from the past. The Guyana government did not officially respond to the issue, but senior government officials sought explanations from the St. Vincent Prime Minister. Other regional leaders also sought information on the issue. During the meeting between President Irfan Ali and the Venezuelan president in St. Vincent back in December, a Venezuelan military aircraft was spotted on the tarmac of the airport in St. Vincent, bearing a Venezuelan map that also included Guyana's Essequibo region. The International Court in early December issued provisional orders in the border case before the court, warning Venezuela about taking any action that would change the status quo of what exists in Guyana's Essequibo.
Viva Decor, stock the finest in the country. Both ceramic and porcelain, tiles and chandeliers you'll see while you shop around stress-free. Well, train stop at warming heart.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more is eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted a preliminary list of electors, PLE, at popular locations in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether your particulars or that of other electors are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31st, 2023, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you are required to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Monday, 15 January 2024 is the last day on which you can apply for a transfer. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-0278-9 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
In the oil and gas sector, though committing to having a national gas strategy in place by the end of 2023, the government has missed that deadline, but is forging ahead with its $2 billion gas to energy project. At a press conference this afternoon, Vice President Maraj, who overlooks the oil and gas sector, offered no clear indication as to when the national gas strategy will be completed.
We will finalize the gas strategy and we will make that public. We will take into account the Exxon gas utilization strategy, but we're not going to be bound by that strategy.
India is assisting the government of Guyana in drafting the national gas strategy. However, back in October, U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil submitted its draft gas utilization plan to the Guyana government with the hope of securing a buy-in. Today, the Vice President said the government and Exxon may very well have conflicting interests with regards to the utilization of the gas. And as such, while Exxon's plan is being considered, the country is not bound by it. Mr. Jagdeo said the government intends to fast-track investment in gas development.
Our strategy, our goal is clear. We want to advance the investment in gas development as early as possible. And so clearly that has to be.
Mr. Jagdeo also added that even in the absence of the strategy, the government intends to test the market.
Even before the completion of the strategy, because we know what the goal is. even before that, to test the market, because we're told that there are not many people right now who may be interested in funding because of the magnitude of the fund. We believe that based on bilateral contacts with us, people making specific proposals, etc., which we don't want to go through directly, that we should just test the market.
In the past, the vice president had stated that even though the national gas strategy was not in place, the objective of the gas to energy project is clearly defined. Upon completion of the project, ExxonMobil is expected to supply government $759 million power plant and natural gas liquids plant at Wills with 50 million cubic feet of gas per day. However, with the $1 billion pipeline having the capacity to transport approximately 120 million cubic feet of gas per day, the government is hoping to receive much more. A minibus operator who was arrested and jailed after being mistaken for another man has filed a $35 million lawsuit against the state. The minibus operator Richard Rodney, in his complaint, said he was unlawfully arrested and jailed on the 4th of October 2023. He spent 4 days in jail before the prison service figured out that it was the wrong man that the police had arrested and handed over to the prison. Rodney said he was driving his minibus when he was stopped at a roadblock along the East Coast Public Road. He said at the roadblock he was told to get out of his vehicle by a policeman and was arrested on an outstanding warrant that had been issued by the court for damage to property. Rodney said although he repeatedly protested his arrest and complained that he knows nothing of the matter and had no court case or charges against him, the police insisted that he was the wanted man and proceeded to keep him in custody before eventually taking him to court and later handing him over to the prison authorities. The driver found himself in the Lusignan jail, facing a 6-month sentence for a crime he knew nothing about. He said it was a prison officer who decided to investigate his claims that he was wrongfully arrested and mistaken for someone else. The prison officer discovered that the police had in fact arrested and jailed the wrong man after making contact with the person who had filed a charge for damage to property. The complainant confirmed that the man in custody was not the man who damaged their property. The police eventually made contact with the right person involved in the case, and after taking both men back to court, simply released the bus driver, Richard Rodney, from custody, as if nothing had happened. Rodney is being represented by the Dexter Todd law firm. The law firm in a statement said a mere phone call to the virtual complainant in the matter or verification of the information provided by Mr. Rodney would have been sufficient to prove that he was not the person who was sentenced to prison by the court. The attorney also said the driver remains traumatized by his arrest and the time he spent in jail. He is seeking compensation in excess of $35 million for his unlawful arrest, detention, and imprisonment without any proper investigation or logical cause. Turning our attention now to the aviation sector, international carrier American Airlines will be adding an additional daily flight to its Guyana route from June of this year. The airline currently operates 2 daily flights between Guyana and New York and Miami. The additional flight is likely to be added to the Georgetown-Miami route, since there continues to be increased travel to and from Miami, owing to the oil and gas sector in Guyana. The additional service is set to begin in the first week of June and forms part of the airline's summer 2024 plans. American Airlines started its Guyana service in 2018, but its travels have not been turbulence-free. In 2021, the government of Guyana, through the Tourism Ministry, blasted the airline over its cancellation of several flights. The government also complained about its many flight delays, pointing out that almost half of the airline's flights over a 6-month period faced delays. In that same year, the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority wrote to the American Airlines management over the quality of its service. The Civil Aviation Authority was later provided with assurances from the airline that it was working to improve its service on the Guyana route. Last year, the airline was forced to apologize to 2 Caribbean prime ministers who were not accorded VIP treatment during their departure from Guyana.
Are Are you looking to start or advance your career with one or more of our world-class associate, bachelor, or master's degrees in 14 specializations from the comfort of your home worldwide? Then look no further than the University of Excellence Management in Business, UEMB. We are affordable, accessible, flexible, multi-world class, internationally accredited and locally recognized by NAC Guyana as a tertiary degree granting college. For more details on our no strings attached 60% scholarship and our payment plan, please call 225-1395, 225-1397-9, 681-3434 or 618-3434. Visit our administrative office in the Critchlow Labour College front building, Wolford Avenue, Georgetown, Guyana. Progressing to a degree is as easy as ABC with UEMB. Deal with the best and forget the rest.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE for all registration divisions at popular locations across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration if you are not listed, change correction to your particulars if they are incorrect, or object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Monday the 15th of January 2024. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday the 22nd of January 2024. All GCOM registration offices will be open Mondays to Fridays from 8 hours to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 hours to 14 hours. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027829 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce and pet supplies, freshly made bread, rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coast Guard has recovered the bodies of persons killed in today's plane crash. Local media reported there were 2 children, 1 adult and a pilot on the ill-fated flight, which took off from the Bekoya airport shortly before 12 p.m. Video of the crash showed a small plane nosedive into the ocean. The Coast Guard immediately launched a search and rescue mission. However, none of the persons on board the plane survived the crash. Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa said on Wednesday that he was seeking to hold a referendum on imposing tighter security measures in the South American country, where violence and crime have spiraled in wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Naboa, a former legislator and the son of a prominent businessman, took office in November on pledges to reduce violence and create jobs via urgent legislative reforms. In a nationally televised message on Wednesday, Naboa said he had submitted draft questions for the referendum in a letter to the Constitutional Court, which will have 20 days to respond. The referendum would seek approval from voters on lengthening prison sentences for serious crimes like homicide and arms trafficking, among others, as well for Ecuador's military to eradicate international criminal groups operating in the country, according to Naboa's letter to the court. And finally tonight, international news. Islamic State claimed responsibility on Thursday for 2 explosions in Iran that killed nearly 100 people and wounded scores at a memorial for top commander Qasem Soleimani, who was killed in Iraq in 2020 by a U.S. drone. In a statement posted on its affiliate Telegram channels, the militant Sunni Muslim group said 2 ISIS members had detonated their explosive belts in the crowd, which had gathered at the cemetery in the southeastern Iranian city of Kerman on Wednesday for the anniversary of Soleimani's death. Tehran earlier blamed the explosions on terrorists and vowed revenge for the bloodiest of such attacks since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The twin blasts wounded 284 people, including women and children. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.